So you have a UniFi network, you have it all up and running, everything is configured, your network is fast, snappy, reliable, stable, efficient. Kudos for you, but now you want to configure things just a little bit further to fit exactly to your needs. In the UniFi ecosystem, we have a lot of things we can do to further customize, to tailor the network to fit our needs. And one of these things is Wi-Fi network groups. What Wi-Fi network groups can do for us is to create or give us the control to which access point we want to broadcast which SSIDs or Wi-Fi networks. Say you have a garage, and in the garage you have an access point, and this access point is designed to talk to IoT devices, to cameras, to maybe your Tesla car, but you might not want this IoT dedicated network to be broadcasted throughout the entire house. This is where Wi-Fi networks come into play. So let's jump in and see how this is configured and done. Hey there! So we are talking about Wi-Fi network groups in Ubiquiti UniFi, and I have to start off with some good news and some bad news. Let me start with the bad news. The bad news is that if you haven't configured Wi-Fi network groups before creating your Wi-Fi networks, you will not be able to change the membership of your existing Wi-Fi networks. But the good news are we have two options around it. One is to manually control which Wi-Fi network gets broadcasted on each access point, and the other way is to create the Wi-Fi network groups, but we will need to recreate our Wi-Fi networks because as of October 2020 we still can't change the membership of existing groups, so we will have to create new Wi-Fi networks, and then we will have the option, we will be asked to which Wi-Fi network group we want to assign the Wi-Fi network. So let's jump right in to my UniFi controller. For me, it's my home UniFi controller. It's running on my UDM. And let's see how we can start with the first option, which is kind of the manual option. Let's go to my devices and let's go to my LR access point, to the config section and to the WLAN section within. Here you can see my Wi-Fi networks. Yes, I'm kind of a Star Wars geek. 3CPO and R2D2, both on the 2.4 gigahertz and both on the 5 gigahertz. And from here I have the option to, for example, if I want to stop broadcasting the 3CPO network, I can click on the little pencil, uncheck the enable on this AP, click on save. Same with a 5 gigahertz, uncheck the enable, click save, and after a little bit of provisioning, the Wi-Fi network on this access point will stop get broadcasted. This is the manual way. We want to avoid doing it. It's very easy. It's nothing complicated. But as a way of life, I want to avoid doing things very manually because I have two Wi-Fi networks. What about organizations or small businesses that have maybe 5, 6, 10 Wi-Fi networks and 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 access points? So what we're going to do is we're going to enable back the SSID, and we will jump in and see how this is done, let's say on the more architectural way. So we will go to our settings, and here are my Wi-Fi networks. First, let's see, I'd like to show you that as of right now there is no way on any of this page, any of these sections of the page, there is no way to change the group membership of an existing Wi-Fi network. Sadly, I don't know why. So we will go to the Wi-Fi network groups, and as you can see, there is a default group, and if you have created your Wi-Fi networks, they have been automatically assigned to this default group. So let's create a new one and we'll call it, I don't know, IoT Wi-Fi networks. We can enable load balancing, and in this case the controller will load balance the number of clients between each SSID of this group. Legacy support and protected management frames, it depends on the use case. I'm not going to bother with it. And click on done. So what we will need to do right now is to create a new Wi-Fi network and assign it to the IoT Wi-Fi networks group. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's, for this use case, let's create a Wi-Fi networks that's designed to serve IoT devices. So we will enable guest policies, etc. Let's create a new Wi-Fi network, and we will need to go to the create advanced Wi-Fi, and we'll give it a name, IoT network. Alright, here we can see that we are asked about a WLAN group, and then we can choose our new Wi-Fi group. That's exactly the kind of setting that's missing on current or existing Wi-Fi networks. It's such a shame, but I'm pretty sure that this ability to change group membership will come eventually. So let's create a password. We will enable guest policies. We will assign it a VLAN because I do have a VLAN in my network that's designed for IoT traffic. Let's click on done. And the new Wi-Fi network is now created, and it's also a member of the new Wi-Fi network group. Just to verify. Yep, indeed. So now that we have a Wi-Fi group and we have a Wi-Fi network that's a member of this group, now we can jump back to our devices page, go to our access point, and in the config area we can expand WLANs. And now all we have to do, instead of manually assigning, enabling or disabling Wi-Fi networks, we can just choose the new Wi-Fi network group, and for the 5 GHz as well, queue changes, apply changes, and after a little bit of provisioning, only the Wi-Fi networks that are a member of the IoT Wi-Fi networks group will be broadcasted on that access point, and any other access point we want to assign the new Wi-Fi network group. That's it. That's the whole idea behind this feature. For some reason, although it's not highly technical and it doesn't involve any network architecture knowledge, for most users this feature remains under the radar, maybe because it's less relevant for most of the users, but for the users that it is relevant to, it's a very nice and strong feature to leverage. So that's it. I hope this has been informative. I hope that you will use this feature if you indeed need it, and have a good one. Bye bye.